But two of my buddies had started working in this insurance company. I was like, what is this insurance company? And so I called up a buddy of mine. I said, hey, man, you're working in insurance. I heard somebody told me, what's going on? Yeah, man, we're this local company here that just started, and they do life insurance for the senior market, final expense, and I was like, really? And I was like, what made you want to go do that? Man, they got this great opportunity. We can grow. It's a young company, and I said, I don't know about all that. I said, how do y'all get paid? They pay you, weekly, biweekly? He said, we get paid on commission. And at first, I was a 24-year-old kid at the time.
Right, that's a little scary at first.
I don't know about that, But then again, I started thinking about it. It started weighing on me for a couple of days, and I was like, you know what? I'm making $7 an hour now.
Yeah.
I can always go back to a $7 an hour job. And so I said, I prayed about it, thought about it, and I said, you know what? I really want to look into this insurance thing. And
Fire up. Welcome, Senior Life family, to another All Fired Up podcast. I'm your host, Will Voorhees, and today I'm joined by Billy Pilcher. And Billy, how are we feeling today?
Doing phenomenally, and I'm fired up.
Awesome, man. So for anybody that hasn't seen the podcast or seen anything about you yet, can you kind of just give some general background of who Billy Pilcher is?
I've been here for Senior Life now for about 17 years, and I'm local here in Thomasville, Georgia. I've been here most all my life. I'm 41 now, so I've been here for about 31 years, and wife, I'm married to my beautiful wife, Brittany, and then we got a beautiful daughter named Rosalie. That's about 16 months old now, and that's pretty much who I am.
Awesome. And so, how'd you get introduced to Senior Life? Like, what started your career?
So, I was at Valsa State University playing football, and I was playing wide receiver, a little bit of defense, but mainly wide receivers. Back when, this is 22 years ago, we had Kirby Smart and Will Muschamp was there. Kirby Smart was a whopping 26 years old.
Golly.
And y'all know Kirby Smart's head coach of Georgia now, but he was there. We had Will Muschamp as a defense coordinator. Now he's, of course, helping out defense analyst at Georgia now. We had Coach Hatcher, Chris Hatcher, which he's at Sanford now, head coach. We had an all-star coaching staff there, but was there for 2 years and came home that summer, met my wife now, Brittany. At the time, of course, met her that summer and fell in love, got bit by the love bug, as they call it. And I didn't go back to college. And again, I was, had a scholarship playing at Valsa State University as a Blazer. And I know that's where you went to school, is that right? Yeah. So again, that's 22 years ago. But I was there to get 2 Gold South Conference Champions rings. But the very next year, if I'd have stayed, I was projected to be a starter at H-back. But they won the national title. But,
oh, wow. Yeah.
But came home, fell in love, came home, didn't go back to college, and got a good old-fashioned JOB, and you know what the JOB stands for, just over broke.
Yep.
Working at a bedding factory here in Thomasville, Georgia, called Thomasville Bedding. It was a great time in my life to really to get a job, and kind of figure things out. And I was working at Thomasville Bedding and working in the bedding factory making box springs.
Okay.
And had some friends of mine in the community about the same age as me that started working with this insurance company, and I didn't know much about insurance other than car insurance and stuff like that. I really didn't know much because I come from the football world and coaching. My dad's a retired Hall of Fame football coach. He's a 26 winningest high school coach in the state of Georgia. So I was always just around football and sports, and that's kind of what I wanted to do, was be a coach one day. But God had other plans, but two of my buddies had started working in this insurance company. I was like, what is this insurance company? And so I called up a buddy of mine. I said, hey, man, you're working in insurance. I heard somebody told me, what's going on? Yeah, man, we're this local company here that just started, and they do life insurance for the senior market, final expense, and I was like, really? And I was like, what made you want to go do that? Man, they got this great opportunity. We can grow. It's a young company, and I said, I don't know about all that. I said, how do y'all get paid? They pay you, weekly, biweekly? He said, we get paid on commission. And at first, I was a 24-year-old kid at the time.
Right, that's a little scary at first.
I don't know about that, But then again, I started thinking about it. It started weighing on me for a couple of days, and I was like, you know what? I'm making $7 an hour now.
Yeah.
I can always go back to a $7 an hour job. And so I said, I prayed about it, thought about it, and I said, you know what? I really want to look into this insurance thing. And so I called back those guys and said, hey, tell me more about it. And then, of course, the team they were working with at the time, I went and met with them and started finding more about the opportunity and what we do and what Senior Life does, what they're about. And one thing I liked that they stood for was integrity, doing things the right way, morals and values.
Right.
And so that attracted me as well. And two, what attracted me about Senior Life back then, and still to this day, was the opportunity to be a part of something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Senior Life was a young company. This was back in 2004, 2005. So a young company and up and coming. And that attracted me too, to be a part of something bigger than myself and contribute to something that will be remembered, as they call it,
Yeah,
legacy.
grow with them. Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of the short version of what it got me to Senior Life. 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah, and you mentioned being a part of something bigger than yourself, and we had kind of talked before the podcast about that you own stock in the company. You want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it's pretty cool when you partner with Senior Life Insurance Company to become a shareholder. You had the opportunity to become a shareholder, and that's kind of how the story, a little backstory about Senior Life, and what I found out too is that Ron and Dale, before they started Senior Life, they were with P&P at a direct competitor of ours at Lincoln, and one of the reasons why Senior Life came about is they want to have stock for the company.
Right.
And of course, everybody knows the story. They were told no, that's not an option, and so Ron had said, we need to buy our own insurance company, and so here we are now, Senior Life Insurance Company. We give the opportunity to agents like myself, but not only that, anybody who comes on board, the opportunity who's serious about helping Senior Life grow, to have stock with the company.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, you'll get a K1. I was like, K1's a K1, and K1 is obviously when you're an owner of a company, and that's what they send you in the year.
Okay.
Along with your end of the year earnings, and so it's pretty cool to say, hey, I'm an owner of Senior Life Insurance Company.
Yeah.
I might be a smaller compared to somebody else's, but I'm still an owner.
Right.
And that's pretty cool that when anybody comes on board with us, like many have already, taking advantage of opportunity, but you can come in and work hard, be a part of the company, what we're doing in our mission and what we're doing for a production standpoint, but not only that, be a part of the shares and own part of the company. And that's a true testament, too, is your loyalty of wanting to buy into the company that you represent. And
right.
be
Yeah.
part
I
of
mean,
it.
obviously, you own stock in the company. When you do better, when everybody performs better, everybody grows.
100%. So when I see all these guys doing well, I always send them a text, say, keep it going, let's go, guys, let's keep pushing.
Yeah.
No matter whose group they're with, because we're all winning when you're a shareholder.
Right.
So
Yeah. We're all on the same team.
that's right. So you encourage each other all to win because of that.
Yeah. And so I've noticed just working with you, the short time that we have so far, that you're very involved with your downline. You're very supportive. Kind of just tell me about what it feels like to see these people under you grow and achieve success in their career.
I mean, I look at it as even though it's called a downline, I look at it as more we're parallel business partners. And I love our new comp schedule when we came out with it about 2 years ago, is you can come in at 90% and grow to whatever level you want.
Yeah.
And I love that nobody's going to hold you back. But one thing I love about is I try to have the servant mentality with people. I tell people all the time when they come on board, you don't work for me, I don't work for you, we work together. And
Okay.
we're business partners. But my job is to make sure I help you. And so I found poured into the leadership team, poured into the agents, as Zig Ziglar said best, is when you help others win, you'll win too.
Right.
And that's not identical to his quote, but close enough. And so my job is I always want to see others win and win at a high level. For example, when NEMAT and Tor, NEMAT's been with us for a little over 2 years now, but they just went out and bought matching Cadillac SUVs.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that I told NEMAT that was a memorable moment. And in my 17 years, I love seeing that. I love seeing other people win.
Yeah.
And that meant a lot to her, to me telling her that. She told me that meant a lot to her. But seeing, like Aaron Cruz just came on board and crushing it with us. Aaron, within his first month, made $17,000 with us.
Golly.
His first month with us.
That beats $7 an hour, doesn't it?
Yeah, a whole lot. Yeah, exactly. And Aaron comes from our direct competitor, as we all know, Lincoln before, and he made $7,000 in a week. And he's like, man, when I was at Lincoln, I never made that kind of money, especially in a week. And,
Yeah.
but he went out and bought a brand new F-150,
Oh, wow.
2022 F-150,
Yeah.
4x4, nice truck, it's just stuff like that. Seeing people win. Jesse Sanders. Jesse went out when he first came on board with us over 2 years ago, but he went out and bought a brand new off the lot Jeep Cherokee.
Okay.
Loaded to the T, and so I appreciate you noticing that, but I do take pride in seeing others win, and I found that servant leadership's the best, making it about them, because you'll see a lot of these guys and they're flaunting what they're doing, and you'll see on their social media posts what they're doing, them, and all the cars and all the houses and all this. That's great, but I'm more about what is the team doing.
Right.
Let's see them win. Let's if you want to call it flaunt, but let's promote their winnings. I'd rather be the guy in the back that's letting them on the stage get all the
Get all the
accolades.
fame.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, that's more my style. Some
Yeah,
people
I like
that's
that.
not for them, but that's my style.
And it's kind of funny that you're saying about not flaunting and all that. My next question was going to be to ask you about you're a part of the Millionaires Club,
Right.
And that's come with the gold jacket that we've seen in previous podcasts.
Right.
Just kind of wanted you to tell me a little bit how that felt. Kind of just the progress leading up to that.
It felt amazing. I mean, to be a part of the first inductees, there were 16 of us, I think it was, the first year, the first inductees, and to be up on the stage with those guys I've known for many years was pretty awesome, and to get to share that moment with them is something I remember forever. And so, you get your gold jacket that you get when you win it, and it's an amazing milestone to be a part of that, knowing that you deposited $1 million into your account to be a part of the Millionaires Club. And so it's something that worked hard for, and when you get to the Millionaires Club, it just shows a lot of things. There's a lot of things that represents. So the money's a byproduct. I really do. But when you really deep down, if you can see under the jacket, it's somebody who didn't quit. It's somebody who believed in the process. Somebody who believed in the company, believed in the leadership team, believed in the lead program. Somebody who was willing to pay the price a little bit more and go a little bit longer than others. And so when you get to be a member of that club, it represents so much more than just $1 million.
Right. I like that.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then I guess kind of another topic would be just any words of wisdom for anybody that's kind of fallen off the insurance game, or if they've got a little unmotivated, or they're just working at a different company and maybe haven't seen the results they're wanting to.
I mean, I always say this, and I've said this to the guys, to the team now. There's many things you can say to that, but I'll give you two ways to look at it. The first way is where are you at and where are you going? Mm-hmm. Where are you at and where you're going? What's the blueprint? Some people call it a green print. Where are you at and where are you going? What is your vision? What is your purpose? A lot of people that are struggling, they're not struggling because of what they do. They're struggling because they've lost people call it their why. I call it your purpose.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would say get back to the drawing board and figure out your goals and what your why is. Why do you want to be successful? Why do you want to be a part of the Millionaires Club or the Rolex Club we have here? Or why do you want to have stock? Or why do you want to make $1 million? $100,000 a year, $200,000, whatever it is. You got to figure out what drives you, what your purpose
your
is.
motivation.
So I would say the first thing is just figure out what that is, because what I found out with people is a lot of people have lost their ways more so they lost their why.
Okay.
The other thing is you gotta get plugged into coaching. I come from my dad's like I said earlier,
right? Football background.
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach in the state of Georgia. He's a 26 winning high school coach. The local field here is named Thomas County Central Yellow Jackets football field is named after my dad, Pilcher Field. So I come from that arena, that culture, that atmosphere. Coming up as a kid, seeing the importance of being coached, and two is being a player. I was an athlete and a player. And in business, you've got to be coachable. You have to humble yourself. Humility goes a long way. And so you have to humble yourself and let people who have done it come in and pour into you and teach you. What I found a lot of times with people is maybe they're struggling is because they're not humbling themselves enough.
Okay.
They think they know what's best, or they think they know to do it a certain way. And so the other part of that is be coachable. Let your coaches coach you. Who brought you into the business. Learn from other successful people. Birds of feather flock together. Hang around winners. Rub elbows with winners. Hang around people who are excited and fired up and want to be somebody. You gotta know your circle as well. And then the other side of that is this. The other side of that coin is, I preach this all the time to the team. There's 4 pillars to success. There's many pillars, but the 4 main pillars is. The first thing you got to ask is your attitude. How's your attitude? The second thing you got to ask yourself is, are you grateful? Gratitude. The third thing is effort.
Okay.
Are you working hard?
Yeah.
Are you paying the price? And then the last is your belief. So attitude. Do you have a positive attitude? Are you excited about the opportunity you have here at Senior Life Insurance Company? Or if you're somewhere and you're not happy, are you excited? What's your attitude toward the opportunity you have? Like you said, somebody may be another carrier. Are you fired up and excited? Do you like what's going on? Is your attitude, thankful for what's going on? If not, then you got to reevaluate. If you're here already with Senior Life, what's your attitude toward the opportunity? Are you grateful for all the things, for example, we're doing here at Senior Life Insurance? Grateful for our lead program, which is phenomenal, second to none. Legacy Assurance, the things we do with Legacy, the partnership, the leadership team, the company, all the things, stock, all the things we're doing you have access to. Effort, are you at first house at 10 o'clock, last house at dark 30?
Right.
You know, are you putting forth the effort? Because what I found a lot of times is people who are struggling, maybe you said, what's my words of wisdom, people are struggling, is that their effort's not where it needs to be. And then last but not least is belief. You believe in the company, first and foremost yourself, but you believe in the company, believe in the process, believe in the product, believe in legacy, believe in the lead program, all the above. Because what happens in those 4 pillars, just like if those 4 pillars is what's holding up the house of success, when the first one goes, the house doesn't fall automatically. But the first one is your attitude. And what happens when you get a bad attitude, you become ungrateful.
Okay, and it all plays like a domino
Yep, domino
effect,
effect.
essentially.
And then when you get ungrateful, you're not grateful for this opportunity and all the things that you have available, your effort goes. You're not working hard anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And then last but not least, that last pillar is holding on, keeping everything together.
When those other 3 are gone, then,
And the last is belief. So when you lose your belief, the house of success falls. And so you got to keep those 3 in check. Now, sometimes you might be on that last pillar, but the house is still standing. Go back to the drawing board and get your attitude, your gratitude, and your effort back in check. Watch what happens. You'll build them back up.
Okay.
And so that's my answer.
Yeah, no, I like it. That was a great
Gave a little
answer.
bit more than you asked for, but that's the best answer I can give you. Raw, real, and unscripted and from the heart.
Yeah, no, I love it, man. And then so we kind of talked about this before the podcast that, I mean, you've been here 17 years, but you also had a little break, tried different opportunities. So kind of what was that opportunity and what made you come back?
So when I first came on board, we got our 20 leads a week. I was a 24-year-old kid. I'd go work Atlanta, Georgia. Basically, if you go into Atlanta on exit 233, right as you come in, you look to the right as a jury in. Mm-hmm. I lived in a hotel for about a year and a half.
Okay.
Literally 3 nights a week I lived in a hotel. They literally reserved it for me every week. That's where I was running my leads. And so every week I got my 20 leads. I go 20, 25 leads, sometimes more. I go run my leads in Atlanta and surrounding areas, stay in a hotel, come home. Well, you just got a little bit of, just took its toll on Brittany a little bit. We'd been together, like I said, left college, came home with her. We'd been together for about a year and a half at a time, and just being gone from home and living in hotels. And so long story short, I said, maybe I can look around some local stuff, what's going on. I don't have to drive and be traveling as much. And so I had a moment there thinking that, hey, I'll find something local. So I went to work with a local company called, I say local, they weren't local, but their local office here, American General. They were starting a new program called Benefits for Employees, Worksite. It's kind of like Aflac.
Okay.
And I knew a guy here local, and they said, hey, we're starting to do this now. Would you be interested in come working with us? And I said, sure, I'll be home, and go around calling business and be home every night. And I did that, and I did well with them. And, it was I think it was number 3 rep with them that year in the entire nation for Worksite.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Did well, but one thing I noticed when I was gone is nothing against that opportunity, nothing against that company, but just the culture we have here at Senior Life, the people was lacking. The big picture, as I said earlier, the blueprint, the green print wasn't there. Like I said earlier too, where are you at and where are you going? I just didn't see a big future there. Where you at, where you're going, and so. But God had a plan for a bigger reason. As we were talking about earlier, a guy named Mike with us. Mike's been with us for about 9 years now, but he met me through my little short stint there of a year and a half or so. And when I came to Senior Life, when I came back to Senior Life, I told myself this is my last stop. I know where I'm at, but I know where I'm going. And 2, I know the people here at this company. I know what they stand for, and I know what they represent.
Awesome.
And I'm going to come back and be a part of it. And so I came back and been a part of it now, and like I said, 16, 17 years straight now, and never missed a beat. But God had a plan. He diverted my path that short little time to be a part of that, but not only that, to really appreciate what we have here now when I came back. But like I said, mentioned earlier too, though, when I was there, Mike found out about the opportunity now, and so fast forward, when I came back 6, 7 years after I'd been back, Mike reached out to me and came on board with us, and he's been with us for now about 8 or 9 years.
Nice.
So it was all a part of the bigger plan.
Yeah, it's just part of the process.
That's right.
Cool. Well, is there anybody you kind of want to give a special thanks to? Anybody you want to shout out? Anything like that?
Well, what I would like to say is just, to all of PIA, appreciate everything that y'all do, and not only that, the culture y'all help us establish, but not only that, create and be a part of. I would go through everybody's name, but I don't want anybody out, but all the PIA, for those who are doing it more than others, I appreciate you as well. One thing I want to say too is shout out to the ownership, as far as Ron and Robert doing an excellent job as far as keeping the us constantly evolving and pioneering our way for final expense. Because I was telling somebody this the other day, it's pretty cool to see that Senior Life, even though we're not the number one writer yet, that we will be, we're still setting the bar for final expense.
Yeah.
We're the pace setter. We're constantly coming up with new things and evolving to not only bring extra value to our policyholders, but also to the agents.
Right.
And so, to answer your question, shout out to all the PIA, Pilcher Insurance Agency, PIA. Appreciate all that the group's doing, and we're having a lot of momentum right now. We're on track to have our biggest year ever this year, and have a very fast start to our first quarter.
Yeah, and if you don't mind, tell the people where you're recruiting at, how they can get in touch with you.
So that's what I was going to go in. That's what I was going to go into. It's funny how you said that, segue into that. So we're recruiting nationwide. So if you're anywhere in the entire United States, I'm willing to talk to you about this opportunity. And one thing I will say is this: is don't let what you can control you. And there's a lot of people looking at this opportunity right now at Senior Life. They're looking at what we're doing, and a lot of people have already came over. If you look at social media, we all know the names, but a lot of people came over. And I'll use this example right now. And but Aaron Cruz just came over recently. He was at Lincoln for about 7 or 8 years and doing well with them. I mean, he made over $200,000 his last year in 2021 with Lincoln, and so it was a big step for him. And I talked to him for 5 years. And one of the things that held him back was the what if game. What if this happens? What if that happens? I heard this. I heard that.
Yeah.
My upline over at Lincoln told me this, and they told me that, and all that, took its toll on him. So he would always want to come, and he'd back off, back off. Matter of fact, in 2018, he actually came, and then he got cold feet and went back.
Okay.
But God has a plan. Everything happens for reasons I mentioned earlier. And matter of fact, I was talking to him this morning about this, is that when he did that back in 2018, I never treated him any different. Matter of fact, we didn't even talk about business for like 2.5 years.
Oh, wow.
We talked about sports. He's a big Gator fan, bless his heart. But, I'm a big Georgia fan. But
right.
We talked about sports, life, kids, family in general, and everything else. And so when he decided he wanted to make the jump and come over here to Senior Life, like many people you all have already seen now coming to Senior from all over the United States, God had his hand involved, and it was perfect timing, because now he came on board. Like I said, he made 16, 17 grand his first month with us. Hit positives over 7,000 one week. He's got his brother now coming on board.
Okay.
That was working at a cell phone store. He's got friends that know him from this industry in general reaching out to him. People that's never sold insurance going and taking the test, getting a license.
That's awesome.
We had a guy that, matter of fact, yesterday on his team, never sold insurance in his entire life. Heard about the opportunity through his Aaron's brother, and he went out his first day yesterday and issued. In one day, he wrote the policy and issued $3,800.
Golly, okay.
In one day.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and has never sold insurance in his entire life. And that's what I told Aaron this morning. I said, Aaron, God does things for a reason. If you'd came back in 2018, who knows what would become. But all these people now that God's putting in your path and our path as a whole, and on Senior Life's path, is because of whatever needed to take place and when it took place and where it's taking place now. So he's got people coming on board. So the moral story is right here is, no offense, Aaron, but don't wait 5 years, 6, 7 years to come on board and be a part of this journey. And Senior Life's got here. Stop. If you're looking at opportunity, even if you're not in the insurance industry, if you're looking at this opportunity, maybe you're at a job somewhere and you say, I want to be a part of something, come be a part of what we're doing here. If you're looking for a culture that's supportive and servant leadership, love, cares about you, family atmosphere, true culture as far as what you see is what you get, no smoke and mirrors, no hype, no hoorah, it's genuine, raw, and real, we got a place called home for you here at Senior Life Insurance Company. If you're in the insurance industry and maybe you're doing well, like you just named a few people that came to us that's had a lot of success, even like we said earlier, Jesse. NEMAC came to us as an occupational therapist before she came to Senior Life. She was making She was making 140 grand a year.
Golly.
She left that to come be at Senior Life because of what I'm talking about, the culture.
Right.
Never sold insurance in her life.
Still made that jump.
Yeah, made a jump.
Doing what she's doing.
Now she's one of the top producers of Senior Life. Like I said earlier, she bought her and her husband both bought a Cadillac matching SUVs. I mean, so the opportunity is endless no matter where you come from, what background. We have a great place, great opportunity here. And I would encourage that anybody and everybody who is wanting to be a part of a company at the right place at the right time. I call it, when I first met Jesse, I told him it's a Kairos moment in time. And what I mean by that is it's a perfect timing to be a part of what we're doing, and we're taking off with be a part of Senior Life and be a part of that story and the legacy that's going to be told because you came on board and were a part of it. So as I tell people, it's bigger than you. What you do is so much bigger than what you realize, and it's bigger than you, and you have a place here to come be a part of something much bigger than yourself.
That's awesome. Well, Billy, thank you so much for joining us today. And to everybody at home, just please like, subscribe, share, and comment. And join us next week for another All Fired Up.
Awesome.